Hello and welcome to part 2 of 25 Excel tricks with Excel made easy. Number 13, insert screenshot. If you want to insert a screenshot onto your Excel page, go up to the Insert tab. Click on Illustrations and go to Screenshot. It will show a list of active screens from other applications. Select the one you want and it inserts the image onto the page. You can then adjust the sizing however you want, and you can also come up to the crop and crop out portions of the image. Number 14, absolute cell reference. Excel uses two types of referencing, relative and absolute. As you can see on this chart, C4 times D4 takes the quantity times the cost and gives a result. This is a relative cell reference, because as I look down the list it's referring to the second one to the left, and the first one to the left in the formula. The total is also a relative cell reference because it is showing E4 minus F4, the discount. And as you move down the list it's referring to the one to the second left and the one to the left in the formula. Now if I was to add a discount in here, the formula would be this number times this number, and this is a relative cell reference reflecting the one to the left times this one up here. The problem is when I copy this down, this one shouldn't be pointing to this number times G2 because there's nothing in G2. We want it to stay G1, so we need an absolute cell reference. To do that, all you have to do is put a $sign in front of G and a $sign in front of 1 to force that to be a fixed value to that cell. And now when we copy these down, there's G1, there's G1, there's G1, and there's G1 as well. That is an absolute cell reference. Number 15, show formulas. Often, a spreadsheet gets to the point where you have a number of formulas spread out all over the place and it's really difficult to look at each one individually. Wouldn't it be nice if you could see a list of all the formulas all at once? Go into File, Options, Advanced, and scroll down toward the bottom and there is a Show Formulas in Cells instead of their calculated results. If you check that box and hit OK, it now actually shows all of the formula references for you to view. I'm going to turn that off. A shortcut method to do that is Control, and you can toggle that on and off. Another option you have is just a double click on a cell and you can see the color codes of the reference cells that is being used in the formula for that cell, and those options make it easier to see formulas at a glance. Number 16, text to columns. When using Excel, you'll often find yourself wanting to copy data from other applications or from a web page or other source. I have a set of data in Word. If I copy this and paste it into an Excel spreadsheet, unfortunately it copies it all in as one line, and we really want it to break all of these components out into different columns. That's the whole purpose of using Excel. So there's a quick way you can convert these. Just highlight them, go to the Data tab, and click on Text to Columns. Now in this situation you can choose between delimited or fixed width. These are separated by commas, so I'm going to pick delimited. Then I'm going to choose comma and not tab. You'll notice down here that it knows where the spacing is between each column. Hit Next. You can change some of the formatting if you want to, and when you're done hit Finish, and now it separates them into different columns. Just remember there has to be some delimiter to separate them out, or if it's fixed width you can choose that as an option too. Number 17, conditional formatting. You saw a sneak peek of the conditional formatting when we looked at the quick analysis tool earlier, but there are more options available from the menu. Let's say on this table we want to show all of the entries that have greater than 2000. Just highlight the list and on the Home tab, choose Conditional Formatting, select Highlighted Cells Rules and choose Greater Than and enter 2000. Now it has highlighted everything greater than 2000. If you want to turn that off, go back to Conditional Formatting and clear the rules. There's many other options available here. You can show the top 10%. You can change data bars so you have a visual representation. You can change the color scales for a more visual representation. I particularly like the icon sets, and you can even define a new rule and make up all kinds of options to select what you want. It's very powerful, so give yourself a better representation of your data through visual and highlighted items using conditional formatting. Number 18. Power Pivot. Power Pivot is a free feature that's installed as an add-in in Excel, but it's not installed by default. To enable it, go to the File, Options, click on Add-ins, and come down here to the bottom and choose COM, Add-ins, and hit Go. You'll see in the list Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel. Check that box and hit OK, and it will add this Power Pivot tab onto your screen. When you click on that tab, you have a whole new set of features available to you. Now, without going into a detailed explanation of how to use Power Pivot, because you can find that information elsewhere on other videos, but the bottom line is this tool allows you to connect to other Oracle or SQL data sources and a variety of other data sets and use. It is a buy tool for large sets of data. In fact, it expands the 1 million row limit of Excel to virtually unlimited numbers. It is meant to turn Excel into a business intelligence analysis tool, so take a look. Number 19. Freeze panes. Freeze panes allows you to lock certain portions of the screen. In this example, I have a large set of data. When I scroll to the right, I lose the first column, name information, and if I scroll down, I lose the header information. To solve this, you can use freeze panes. Click on the corner where you want the rows above and the columns to the left to be locked. Go to View and click Freeze Panes and choose Freeze Panes from the menu. Now when you scroll right, you can see the names in the left column, and when you scroll down, you can see the rows in the heading. To undo the freeze panes, just click on it again and click Unfreeze. Number 20. Control arrow keys. Don't forget to hold down the Control key when you're arrowing around a set of data. Control right arrow, down arrow, left arrow, up arrow. It'll move to the end, beginning, bottom, or top of the data set that you're working within. Number 21. 3D references. If you're tracking data over a period of time, it's often common to create a different month tab for each one of the sets of data, and in this case I have September, October, and November. They are identical in terms of the format, but the data is different in each. Let's say I want to create a total of all of those. I can hold the Control key down and drag this tab and then rename it to get our total tab. Let's say we want to add a heading to the top of each one of these charts. We can add it in and go into each one of the tabs one at a time, but with 3D referencing, all you have to do is click on one on the end, hold down the Shift key, and click the other end. Now you've highlighted all 4 of these tabs. Go ahead and do your insert, put in your heading, make your changes, and now when you click on the individual ones, you'll see that changes I made. We're done on all 4. Now let's take our total and let's use a 3D reference to add the quantities from each one of these 3 tabs into this cell. I'm gonna hit the sum. I'm gonna go to the first tab, choose that cell, hold down the Shift key and select all 3 and hit enter. Now that you're on the total tab, you'll see that it summed September through November. Now I'm going to just drag these down, copy them across, and you have the total for all 3. That is 3D referencing. Number 22. Forecast sheet. You want a quick peek of the future, so you've got a set of numbers here that look like they're in a pattern. All you have to do is highlight that, go to Data, and choose Forecast Sheet. This gives you a trend line in the forecast, and you can click the up arrow here to extend it out for a longer period of time if you want to look farther in the future. That's just a quick look at the forecast option for something really simple. Number 23. SUMIFS function. The SUMIFS function allows you to do conditional summing of data. So in this example, I have a table with month, item, and amount. Over here, I'm going to add the sum of the amounts based on this criteria. Entering the SUMIFS function, we just do equals SUMIFS, and the range is the range of values that you're summing. The criteria in this first example is the month, so we're going to select the month range, and the value we're looking for is right there. And you can see the total is 68, which is the sum of these first 3. For this one, we're going to do the same thing. The range is still the values. The criteria that we're selecting for first is the month, with this being the month. We can continue on with another set of criteria. Have it be the item. And this is the specific item we're selecting, and you can see 78 is the total of just my item 2's. And that's the SUMIFS function. Number 24, IFERROR function. The IFERROR function can be used to clean up some bad data. For example, I have a formula here that calculates the per item amount for the quantity and the total. If I copy this down, I get a divided by 0 error because the quantity on this line is 0. Well, the IFERROR function can be used to clean this up. All you have to do is come in here, add IFERROR in front of your formula. And if that value is an error, then what do you want to do? Let's just put in 0. Now when I copy that down, it puts a 0 in there but still calculates the other locations correctly. And that's a quick fix with the IFERROR function. Number 25, filled maps. Filled maps are just like any other chart but way cooler. Take a set of data, highlight it. Make sure you have location-specific information in here, which can be a state, a city, a zip code, GPS coordinates, or any other location-related data elements. Go to Insert and choose Maps. Select this filled map, and your data elements will be placed on a map, in this case the United States. You can also add different chart elements like data labels, and you can change the chart to different types of styles. It's a very cool Excel feature. And that concludes this video of the top 25 Excel tips and tricks. Thank you for watching. Be sure to click the like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.